What's up everybody, Srinty here, and today I hit 10k subscribers. I never would have thought this would happen. I mean, to be honest, I started this channel on a whim. I had no idea if I was gonna, follow through with all the operators, but your support has been amazing lately and nothing can stop me from making videos now. I honestly can't thank you enough for the amount of motivation and drive that you're giving me. Also, we did this in a month. I mean, a little more than a month ago, I had 100 subscribers. That growth is just insane, and thinking that I'm the lucky one getting that makes it all feel very surreal to me. I hope this makes sense because it's really hard for me to explain how I feel about this, but yeah, thanks a lot guys. In this video, I'll be answering questions from you guys, hoping that you get to know me a little better. So alright, let's get on to the questions. A lot of people have asked me how I got into gaming, so here's my story. For as long as I can remember, I've been playing video games. So Mario on the NES, Nintendo 64, GameCube, original Xbox, and the Xbox 360. The console that I have played the most is by far the 360. The reason I played it so much is because at that time I realized that there was a skill aspect to the game, and when I figured that out, I wanted to be the best. I remember trying really hard in Halo 3 and Call of Duty 2 and 4, and oh man did I thought I was good. I was just way too young to realize that there was an actual competitive scene at that time. My passion for learning and competitive gaming got to a whole new level when I discovered StarCraft. I remember waking up really early, practicing for 15 hours a day, only to go to sleep to some pros streaming. At that point I wanted to be just like them. I wanted to be a pro gamer. I wanted to play games for a living, and I worked really hard at it, putting immense amounts of hours into it. The thing is, I was still really young. I was like 14, and all of that was really stressful, and I got burned out of this game. Even though I spent like 2 years playing this game non-stop, I don't regret a single hour of that, because the things that StarCraft made me learn, the sheer discipline and passion of learning, is going to last me a lifetime. It's really weird to say, but StarCraft really made me grow as a person. I know it's weird, right? Like, it's just a video game, but no, video games, just like sports, can give you great life lessons. And today, I appreciate what StarCraft did to me. After StarCraft, I still wanted to play games, and so, I started playing World of Tanks. I didn't like the game at first. I even uninstalled it, thinking that I won't ever play again. But when I upgraded my PC, I downloaded the game back to check out the graphics, and it's at that time that I realized that there was a competitive scene. And, just like StarCraft, seeing that made me want to be at the top. So I worked really hard putting everything that I learned from StarCraft in practice, analyzing replays, watching pros, and just thinking about the game a lot. World of Tanks made me learn about networking, so searching for a team, getting picked up by them, and so on. After 2 years of doing that, I got to the top. I was easily a top 100 NA player, and I got into a team called Burn All Empires, which later became Elevate. Now, I don't want to go into details too much because I don't think it'd be very interesting for you, but if you really want to know, I could make a video about it. But yeah, what happened was we pulled a miracle that season, giving each of us an all-expense-paid trip to San Francisco to play in the LAN finals. It's really hard to explain how much this meant to me because, at the time I had never left Quebec, never took the plane, and obviously never went to the US. So, this was crazy. I literally got to the airport and had to figure everything out by myself. Even though it was a little scary at first, I really liked the experience, and I'm glad it all happened that way. I'm also glad my parents let me go. I had won an all-expense-paid trip to go and meet people that I have never seen in my entire life, and the only thing that I knew was where the hotel was. So think about that for a second. So yeah, everything went well. I got there no problem. I met all of my teammates, and I was a little confused at first because of the jet lag, but generally I spent a really nice week over there. And when the finals came, I was getting really nervous because I thought I was gonna play really bad since it was my first LAN tournament, and everyone was telling me how much of a disaster their first LAN tournament was. All I wanted at that point was to do my best because we were playing for way too much money to fuck it up. So I had to man up and focus on the game, which I did after 20 minutes of focusing on the cheering crowd. So we were seeding 4th, meaning that we were going to play against the best ranked team, and we were huge underdogs, and for some reason another miracle happened and we won that match.
Is this gonna be it? Is this gonna be the downfall of the first place team in group stages? This is such a tense moment. Elevate has it in their hands. 934 hit points to 3,000. Elevate with a commanding lead, and now targeting Commander J. He's gonna go down. Comps, the last and only tank for the Cunninghams. Is this the story that we're seeing? Elevate just producing some fantastic battles. Down he goes. Elevate will take the series 5-3.
I couldn't believe it. Everything felt so surreal, and I was just freaking out so much that my team had to tell me to calm down because we had another match to play, right? And for some reason, after that, I felt incredibly focused. You know, I was still really nervous, but I didn't feel the effects of it. It all felt like I was watching myself play the game instead of doing it myself. Every decisions were already taken before I could think of them. You know, every shells were out of the barrel before I could, you know, decide to fire them. It's so hard to explain and probably doesn't make any sense to you, but that's the best I can describe it. So yeah, we went to the finals and played some damn good games, winning the tournament, taking home 75,000 US dollars. Now, at that time, it was a lot of money for me because, you know, I'm a college student and I'm also Canadian, which means the money was worth even more. Here's a team picture of us. I'm the second guy starting from the right, and as you can see, I had really long hair back then, and yeah, I look pretty young, but nothing I can do about it. Winning the tournament also qualified us to play in the grand finals, which is basically the world's finals. As expected, we got completely destroyed over there, but you know, I'm really happy that I got to go to Poland and it was a nice experience. Oh, and by the way, the pictures that you're seeing on the screen are from a museum in Poland, and towards the end of this montage you'll see the stage we played on, and you know, it was pretty amazing. Alright, so let's answer some more questions. Are you planning on streaming anytime soon? Absolutely, dude. I'm really hyped to stream with all these new subs. All I need to do right now is to figure out some software stuff, and as soon as I do, I should stream here and there. I still want to focus more on YouTube than Twitch, but I really think Twitch will help me build that connection with the viewers. What will you do after you finish all the guides? Well, I plan on talking about strategy, analyzing rounds with the replay system, show some nice rounds that I played, and so on. Even when I'll be done with all the operators and all the maps, I still think there's gonna be a lot of content to do. Do you plan on playing other games? I sure do. I mean, I really want to branch out into similar games because always playing the same game is just gonna get really repetitive. So yeah, I'm thinking about The Division and Squad. Although I really want to be careful when doing this, and I'm gonna listen to the feedback quite a lot. How old are you? I just turned 20. What YouTubers do you look up to? I fucking love Leafy, but I'm starting to think he might be a reptilian or something. I also like Frankie, Level Cap, and the Trooper 97. Where do you come from? I come from Quebec, and I currently live really close to Montreal. What's your personal situation? It's not that interesting. I just study electronics and I live at my mom's place. Do you have a job besides YouTube? Well, I used to work at a restaurant night shift, but after I won the money from World of Tanks, I decided that I could take a break, so no. How come you have such good reaction time in aiming? Honestly, dude, I think it's all about practice. I just spent a lot of time of my life playing video games. If you really want to be impressed, go watch some pro CSGO matches. I am nothing compared to them. What made you start YouTube? So I've always really liked to share my gameplay, and I generally love to explain things. So to me, making YouTube videos about video games seemed like a really cool thing. Did you think you were gonna get some success when you started the channel? Hell no. I was actually embarrassed by my own videos. I don't even know why I put them online. Honestly, when I watched my first guides, I just cringe. I just can't watch them. Have you had any past attempts at YouTube channels or video of any kind? Yeah, I made StarCraft videos, I made World of Tanks videos, and I made Daisy videos. And I never got more than 200 views on a video, so nothing comparable to this. How long do you normally spend on each guide? Now that's a good question. Each guides last about 6 to 7 minutes, and it takes usually about 5 hours to edit. That's counting me talking and me editing, of course. Getting the gameplay is actually the easy part because I just like playing the game, so you know, all the clips are taken from my free time. So I don't really count that as work. So final answer, maybe 7 to 8 hours with the rendering, the uploading, and you know, all the other stuff. What do you think about the money? Alright, so I think that the money on YouTube is very important and you know, it's very taboo and I don't understand why. In some communities like Call of Duty, people get furious when a YouTuber does a promo or a sponsor deal, when in reality, that's how he puts food on the table. You know, if he doesn't, then he can't make the content. So yeah, I really don't get why it's such a taboo subject here on YouTube, but I'm sure my community is a lot more mature than the Call of Duty one. And so yeah, if you see me doing some sponsor deal, that's just me trying to get a little bit closer to that full-time status, which means more content for you. I hope that answers the question. Are you partnered with Machinima? I hope to God not. I was approached by some networks, but they don't offer me anything but to take my money, so I don't see a reason why I would join one. Besides Rainbow Six, what do you play? And it doesn't have to be video games. Well, I love to play Arma 2. I have over 2,000 hours in there, and I just do dogfighting all day. I also really like to play poker. What's your top 3 favorite games of all time, excluding Rainbow Six? First one would have to be Shadowrun Vista, second one StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty, and the third one would be Halo 3. How do you see through windows? In many of your videos, you peek and kill some enemies when all I see is shadows. So I get this question a lot, and there are 3 reasons for this. The first one is my black equalizer. I have a very good monitor, and I cranked up the black equalizer at the maximum, meaning that I can see very well in dark areas. The second reason might be YouTube compressing the files too much. And the third reason would be the color corrector. The color corrector is basically video makeup. It changes the colors of the video a little bit, and it makes it look pretty. But in the process it might make it look a little darker. What the fuck is this question? I like how you went from my FOV, then my settings, to Donald Trump. So my FOV is 85 and I play at medium without anti-aliasing. If you ever play casual, how do you anticipate which direction the enemy team is going to come from? If you don't, how does that affect your playstyle? Well, we usually split up and look at each spawn, but on some maps the cameras will tell you where they spawn. For example, Hertford Base and Cafe. What kind of PC do you play on? So my GPU is a GTX 780, my CPU is a 3790K, and I have 8 gigs of RAM. How can we encourage more people to use mics? Is it just a problem for console players, or does it affect PC games too? It doesn't really affect PC all that much. I mean, most people have mics, but on consoles, I don't think there's a way to get people to use the mics. They just want to have a very casual experience, and I don't really think they care about winning all that much. And that is in casual mode, of course. I don't know much about ranked games on consoles. What team do you play for and how did you join them? So when I first started playing on Rainbow, I got into EMP, but then a lot of my real life friends started playing the game, and so I left EMP and we made our own team called ACN. So I didn't really get into ACN, we pretty much created it. What do you think about the content in the game and what should be added in the game? Also, what do you think about the game's vision? Alright, so this is a pretty controversial topic, but right now, in my opinion, what they need to do is fix all the bugs first and then implement a spectator mode, a replay system, and a good anti-cheat. If they don't do that, they won't ever get the esport they're striving for. Right now, the whole competitive community is in standby mode, but they won't be that patient. Ubisoft needs to be quick. Even though that's a big task, I have full trust in Ubisoft because in the recent patches they have showed a lot of effort and they're obviously trying to make things right. Yeah, every day. What do you expect from the competitive scene in Rainbow Six Siege? Right now my hopes are not big. I don't expect much because we don't have the spectator mode, we don't have the replay system, and we don't really have a good anti-cheat system. So for now we're just gonna keep running our small tournaments and just play for fun. But if Ubisoft delivers, I honestly think a big esport could grow out of this game. If the esport grows, do you plan on playing the game professionally? Honestly, I don't really want to play tournaments to make money. It's like one of the most stressful jobs out there because like if you don't win, you just don't eat. So yeah, unless I get picked up by a huge esport team, I don't think I'll do that. I am planning on trying to be a full-time content creator though, as it involves a lot less stress and it's just generally more fun. What's your favorite operator on attack and defense? On attack, I like Ashe, and on defense, I like Jaeger. I just like to run around and flank people. I can't help myself. What kind of operator / map would you like to see in the upcoming DLCs? I'd like to see some more roamers and flankers, as I think they'll make the game a lot more intense. As for the maps, I'm really curious to see what Ubisoft is thinking, because honestly I don't have any idea that would make a map creative. I mean, at one point they're gonna have to stop making generic buildings, right? Could you create a siege school in which you educate players live in game? I think that would be a great idea, except I would prefer doing it with replays and not live, because doing it live would require so much coordination and I don't think anyone would get a lot from it. Is the season pass worth getting? I don't think it's worth getting unless you're making YouTube videos or you're really competitive and you want to learn how to play the operators before everyone else. Dude, it's fucking massive, man, like a full 2-inch. How many hours have you played so far? I think I have like 120 hours. Yeah, I've been playing this game a lot. What do you think about money in general? Do you want to be rich or you want to have just enough? Well, I'll put it that way. I want to have enough money so that I don't have to stress about it at all, because financial stress has been a big part of my life and I don't want no more of it. I'd like to talk about the comments. So before, it used to be possible for me to answer all the comments without taking too long, but unfortunately now it's not possible. I mean, it takes more than 4 hours to respond to all the comments, and I think you guys will enjoy more content than me responding to comments. So don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna respond to a lot of them, but obviously not every single one of them. Having said that, of course I'm gonna read all of them. Even if I didn't respond to your comment, rest assured I did read it. You know, I find it kind of sad that I can't do that anymore, but I guess I can connect with you guys in other ways, like Twitch for example. Alright guys, this is it. If I didn't answer your question, it's probably because I'm going to make a video about it, e.g. barrel attachments. I would like to again say thank you for all of the support recently. You know, it's crazy crazy to me that 10,000 people are enjoying my content enough to want to be notified every time I make a video. And you know, I have big plans for the future. So as per usual guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. Alright, so as you can see, Bandit can be a very good defender because of the battery trick. Now, I'd like to talk about another way you can play Bandit, and that is roaming. Bandit is in a way just like Jaeger. He has high mobility and a passive special ability, making him a very good roamer. What I think they should be doing is use the cluster charge to make the people move around. While they're moving around, they are very vulnerable to you. So you know, peek in, breach in, do whatever you have to do, but get line of sight on them, because it's at this precise moment that they are the weakest, and so you should exploit this by engaging right then and there.